Here we go. This is it. Let the seeds begin. We're mounting up and we're getting our stuff ready for this year's Shed Wars 21. And this is going to be the beginning of our ammunition. We're going to plant some seeds today, and these seeds are our hope for a very productive year. So let's get started. So we've already talked about our heirloom seeds that we keep back and know that we like. We've pulled out some that we're going to use, some that we plant later. And look, we got some yellow apples in here we're going to plant this year. And a lot of cool stuff. So, let's get going on this. We're going to separate these out. What I don't have in my heirloom, I'm going to take out of my seed packets. And, here's our list and our garden idea. So this is what we kind of drew up. And this is our garden. And this is the pole, telephone pole that's out in our garden. And this is like where the guide wire comes back. And this is where we walk in at. Now on this side over here, this stays really wet. And this is where the sun comes up. You can see the yellow shining in. And this is where we normally put our sprinkler, and it sprinkles this way in a circle. And some of this area and some of this area doesn't get as wet. But everything up in here is really easy to water, close to the watering source. So last year, we had our tomatoes all around in this square area, which I am going to replant tomatoes over here, but I'm going to go this way with them. Some of my Cherokees and stuff, there's some pine trees, tall 50-foot pine trees over here, and they shade this part of the garden for part of the day. So all my broccoli, some of my cold weather plants, I'm going to put into the shade for the late evening. My corn, pumpkins, potatoes, they're going down here. Peppers and tomatoes will be here. And then I'll have a watermelon cantaloupe where this stays real wet. Onions we had right up against here. We're going to move them out. And we're going to move our snap peas and our eggplants up here by our garlic, lettuce, asparagus, rhubarb, horseradish. Everything that we have come up automatically every year. Automagically. Just comes up automagically. And then we're going to do sunflowers around the whole outside. So we kind of broke it down on what tomatoes we needed, as far as cherry tomatoes and what types of tomatoes, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, okra, different peppers. We're doing some trichia peppers, which are no heat pepper, jalapenos. We have some jumbo jalapenos that are good for grilling. And looks like a cherry seed.
That's what I was going to say, cherry.
And we got a few new hot, like a hot lemon and some other hot peppers that we're going to try this year. But we're going to start now. Every time we grow, some things come up just the way that you want it to, and some things don't come up at all, and you have to restart. So you got to give yourself plenty of time. And every year I do run out of time and have to go buy plants at a greenhouse to replace something that hasn't made it. But I get better and better every year. So that's what this is all about, learning and growing. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn and we're going to grow. And we always have a lot of fun and we enjoy this. So let's get started. So here we're just planting a lot of our tomato seeds. There's 2 trays here, and one of the trays has 4 spots per section. The other one has 6. And the tomatoes are going into the bigger trays just so I don't have to up pot them as quickly as some of the other plants. And so we're working on our tomatoes right now. So we're just using these little things we cut out of like a breakfast bowl and a silver marker, but you can use about any kind of plastic you can cut up. They're good for, and you could put them straight, but I'm just kind of sticking them in there. And our soil's real good, but I do have a rooting hormone in this. And I'm pulling out little bones. And nails. There's a lot of iron in an old nail, but this is mostly wood chips that have decayed, and a little bit of potting soil, and then just like potassium and things like that. So we're gonna get on to the other ones. These have a lot. The trays we just did were our tomatoes. We have a few more tomatoes we had to plant, but there were only 4 per tray. These have 2, 4, 6 per tray. So we'll get a lot more seeds in these, but we'll have to up pot them a little earlier. So we're going to do our peppers and everything like that in these. And I have one more tray if we need it, but I'm not sure we'll need it. It'll kind of be for whatever we feel like we need to add between now and the time we plant. So we'll go back in, do another hyperlapse on this next set, and hope you guys get something planted, and I hope you have a good year this year, unless you're on the opposite team. And then I hope that you struggle all year long. No, I'm just kidding. Get out there and grow something. Got all of our peppers pretty much planted, all of our tomatoes pretty much started. We have some cherry tomatoes we still got to plant. We have a lot of stuff we direct sow, but this is a hodgepodge of stuff. This will be our 3rd container. So not real sure what we're going to put in here, but it's all the stuff that we have to plant now that we may want either in our garden or around the homestead, but isn't really on our list right now. So that's what we're going to work on now. I think there's some cherry tomatoes which are on our list, and then I'm not real sure. We'll have to go through it, but beets, things like that. So let's get right into that now, and let's get this going. So there's our seed trays, and we got quite a bit of stuff, and by next week you should be able to see some sprouts. All of our stuff's doing pretty good. There's our early on a cabbage that came up. It's doing real well. Cauliflower right back there, and that's the sweet horn from North Ireland. I don't know, not doing so hot. And then this is the Hungarian wax that never came up because they were dehydrated, so I'll put something else in there. Still got all these little things popping up, and our onions are doing real good, but they need some sunlight. That's where we're at seed-wise. Thanks for sticking around till the end. And remember, guys, get out there and grow something. Plant a seed. Shed Wars 21's coming. Get your weapons ready.